December podcast. Hooray.
That's going to be probably released in January.
Wait, did we do a sound test?
Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
that's why I was over there.
You know, one day it's going to be structured and good, but, you know, we'll see how this goes.
I would like to...
I didn't do any research.
That's wishful thinking over there, but good on you.
We are going to talk about some of the latest developments since our last podcast.
But I don't want to.
Well, too bad. You had your chance. Specifically, did anyone check out the 2017 Game Awards?
Hell no.
Really?
Hell no.
I don't have cable.
It was on YouTube.
They usually stream those now because that's what the majority of the audience is.
Yeah,
Television is a dying medium.
Well, if you
it
want,
really is.
you want
Which
to talk
is
about
why
some,
they're trying to strangle the internet.
you want to talk about some of the people or the awards, or
Yeah, we can still talk about the awards and give our opinion about it. I mean, I don't know how many of the games you guys have been paying attention to or have indulged yourself in. So.
All I know out of that is that Nier won Best Music.
I agree.
Nier won best music.
Which is almost no fucking competition.
I don't know. Their competition was Destiny,
Nope.
Yeah.
Cuphead,
Okay.
Breath of the Wild,
I can't comment on that.
Super Mario Odyssey, and Persona 5.
All right, never mind. There was some heat in there. Okay. There was some heat.
It's got no competition. What about blah 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 blah? Oh fuck.
There was some heat. Persona.
Atlas is really good with their music compositions, I have to say.
They're publishers. Publishers.
All
It's
right.
the people. It's the other people.
Then
you have to
they
worry about.
publish good music.
So
Nah. But Cuphead, they did that all themselves. I don't think they outsourced anything, right?
yeah, Cuphead is an indie project. The whole theme
That-
of it. It was nice. It's everything about that game was beautiful.
That had a nice old timey sound to it.
Game
so.
game videos stream should be up for that somewhat soon.
Persona
Sooner or
always
later.
had some hot ass, funky, fresh beats. Goddamn, Persona always had some funky, fresh beats. I don't know why people haven't learned to explore sound a little bit more, explore music a little bit more. But now all we have are these, generic orchestrated soundtracks for everything. Destiny is case in point there for that. Because what's the difference between listening to Destiny soundtrack as opposed to listening to Horizon Zero Dawn soundtrack?
Persona 3's
I haven't played
walking
Horizon,
around
so I don't know.
music is still stuck in my head to this day. Like anytime you would explore the city maps or the schools, it's like get out of my head.
I really need to finish that. I'm gonna call it a tutorial level because someone said you don't get to any gameplay for like half an hour or 3 hours or something.
3 hours.
Sounds about right.
So fucking whack.
Why? That's another thing. Why would you make a tutorial that takes up that much meat of the game? Like,
I don't think that's a
Till that's
tutorial.
Kingdom
though.
Hearts.
that's a
That's
good.
just
That's a
all
good. That's a
dialogue,
good
isn't
point.
It's probably just world
good
building
point.
and character building. Like it
I mean, it's a heavy dialogue-based game.
I mean, hey,
guess, so.
if the game is fun, who gives a fuck how long the tutorial is?
I do, because did you play, what was it, the last Pokemon game? You know how horrible that was when it was just you didn't do nothing for 5 hours.
Until you get the first badge, you're like, congratulations, now go play Pokemon.
Thank you for wasting my life this far.
You're
I
acting
think,
like-
I think
you're
we're
acting like
getting a
you're
little
doing-
bit off track.
But you act like you're doing anything different than Pokemon anyway. You ain't been doing the same shit for 20 years.
I'm just saying I don't want the game to drag.
I want the game to change. It's been dragging for the past 15
What are
years.
you saying there, E? You want the game to evolve?
I'm out of here.
Where are my tamales at? Damn it!
Back to the Game Awards.
Into the Kraken we go.
As we mentioned earlier, Breath of the Wild did win Game of the Year, and it was up against Super Mario Odyssey. Players Unknown Battleground. Oh yeah,
Whack.
that's PUBG Corp.
That's PUBG, early
PUBG.
access.
Other games are doing that better
Actually,
now.
no.
If you
It's
ask me.
finally in stage 1.0.
Persona 5.
Yeah,
Persona
what the
5
fuck?
and Horizon
I'm just saying, it's
Zero
not
Dawn.
early access anymore, or so they say.
Unfortunately, I have not played. Nobody on this couch has played any Switch games.
I've played
Nah.
Breath of the Wild, so you can
Do you have it?
take that.
Do you have it?
I've played
Do
it
you
for
have
a
it?
few hours. You
you
shut
have
up. Shut your face.
Do you have it, though?
Stay over on your side of the
Do
couch.
you have it though?
Where it at though?
But is
what I thought.
but is having it and playing it two different things?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, boys, guy.
Does anybody know what Remains of Edith Finch is, or has anyone heard of that?
I think it's like a mystery game or something.
Yeah, it's like a weird first-person mystery, but apparently that one won Best Narrative. against Nier, Hellblade, Seiyuna's Sacrifice, and Wolfenstein. Also Horizon Zero Dawn.
I don't see how Horizon and Wolfenstein made it into that against the other titles, but
Yeah, even though I like the game Wolfenstein, the best narrative.
because those other three games were they had a message, they were about something.
Wolfenstein was a giant what if.
For all I know, Tetris had a better narrative than all those. So,
Ooh.
for all I know.
Pump your brakes.
Well, that's why I said for all I know. I didn't play any of these games. You know.
Let's see. I'm just gonna throw some of these bests out. If anyone on the couch thinks, oh hey, let's talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that. Best art. Anyone want to talk about that one?
Did Cuphead win?
Cuphead won.
All right then, there's no competition there.
Cuphead won against Destiny,
They hand drew everything else.
Zelda, Persona, and Horizon.
Cuphead won.
Cuphead's hand-drawn won against all of those typhoons. So congratulations to the creators of Cuphead for that one.
That's what happens when you make a game correctly. That's all it is.
Best score, like Biggie said, Nier won that one.
Even though everything else, well, a lot of the other.
Hey, I said
bangers.
that game won. Everyone just agreed with me.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Motherfucker.
Best audio design. How is that different from the score?
Soundtrack is the music in the background. Audio design is basically how everything else functions. Like when you're walking, the sound steps it makes. When you hit something,
sound
collision.
effects and
Yeah.
Nature.
Everything
Okay.
everything else about the game.
So it's basically sound and then ambience.
ambiance. There you go, ambiance.
All right. Apparently, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice
Didn't play
won that one.
That's fine.
Okay.
I watched some videos on it. It looks like a cool game. I want to get into that. That one beat out Destiny, Resident Evil 7, Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey.
I mean, Resident Evil didn't have a lot of things aside from bleh once in a while,
Sounds sounds of squishies.
creaking,
Squishy.
noises. Yeah.
Basically, the
Best
sounds that happen when I brush my teeth.
best performance.
Man.
Games for Impact. Best ongoing game. Best mobile game.
Mobile
Who the fuck-
gaming isn't gaming.
Apparently is for Monument Valley 2 because they won
Fucking casuals.
against Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Old Man's Journey, and Hidden Folks,
'Cause
which
we-
is just it looks like a off-brand version of Where's Waldo.
Wow. Wow.
Mobile gaming sounds like where all the budget gaming goes.
It is. It's where they get all their money from the women.
All right, there's like way too many here, so I'm just gonna
Boo on you.
ignore the bulk of those. But
Figured people would have learned after Candy Crush, but no.
but besides, you know who did best game for this reason,
We do good.
awards. The Video Game Awards also did some announcements for some newer games that they were coming out after the awards. One of them was Accounting Plus for PlayStation VR. It's out already. I showed the trailer to Brother Red.
That is called Bad Office Trip. It is not accounting VR. It's Bad Office Trip. Like
It has
you were doing some hardcore drugs at the office, and you're having a bad reaction to them.
It is
Like everything's talking to you and stuff's on fire and crap. And
That sounds great.
that Mr. Popo.
It's
oh
made
my
from-
god, I'm coming down.
It's made from the co-creators of Rick and Morty, and it's voiced by the dude who does Rick and Morty voices. It's batshit crazy by the looks of it. And
it's so level. I don't want to leave.
if we ever start doing PlayStation VR videos, we are
We're gonna
definitely
need a
going to
bigger
have Brother Red, our couch accountant, play it.
Please no.
Please, yes. This
This
game was made for you.
This game has
Put that bachelor's
nothing
to
do
work.
nothing to do with the title.
Even though that would
This
be,
is like every manga when they just generate a random name and throw it on there.
even though this would probably be expensive as hell, if you could have 4 VRs hooked up together and like play the Star Trek Bridge Crew all together.
Yes.
but that again, that would be expensive as fuck.
Like, please tell me, why is Bleach called Bleach? See?
Because of all the blood.
Because he has orange hair.
You have to watch. Then it should be called Strawberry.
There's a reason
Or
behind
something.
it, I think, but it's irrelevant. Bleach his ass.
They
Bleach
also
his ass.
yes. They also did they also premiered like a 15-second video from Softwares. Did anyone here see that?
I haven't seen anything.
Showing
Yes.
what?
I've been down in the basement all week playing Overwatch when I've been off of work.
Yes, I have seen it, and I don't care what it is. I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it?
For what?
From the people who have graced
Dark
us with the
Souls.
presence of Dark Souls 1, 3, Bloodborne, and Demon Souls have.
Glossing over two.
And,
If I didn't say
and
Bloodborne,
Kingsglaive.
They
they released a teaser for their new work in progress.
What's it called?
That doesn't have a name yet. All we have
Dark,
is
it's
a
Dark Souls. It's Dark Souls 2 HD remix.
Yes. All we have is
Another one?
like a creepy image of something,
Pull up that image.
and then the
Of your search history.
I'm not gonna.
And
I'm
then
not
the-
gonna show it. But
and then the words shadows die twice. It does look creepy as hell. I'm excited for whatever it could be. There's a lot of in-depth analysis and theories just on this 15-second trailer alone.
It's
Don't
not
underestimate the
that
power of
important.
free time.
Just 15 seconds. You saw like a spring on a syringe. Let it happen. Let it be. Let them do there's no reason to speculate that much because you don't know what it is. It's like people trying to decipher and decode the Death Stranding trailers from years ago. All you saw was Norman Reedus, some hands and a baby. You didn't know what the fuck was going on. Relax.
Speaking of, I'm gonna go back to that, but if you are interested on the Shadows Die Twice analysis, I'm not sure if anyone is into that. Vati Vidya, he's got a nice video breaking down as much of that 15-second trailer as possible, and I don't know. I recommend giving it a look. We'll leave a link in the descriptions, and shit like that. But speaking of the Death Stranding trailer from way back when, during the Game Awards, they also brought out Hideo Kojima to show us a new Death Stranding trailer. Did anyone see that?
Okay, looks like it's just gonna be me. Yeah, of course I saw
again,
that.
I've been down in the basement playing Overwatch.
We hear you.
And
I live in.
That's
a room
gonna
I
be
see
like
no
a
spawns.
3-hour.
I don't
video.
know what it is with Kojima. I don't know what drugs he eats. I don't know. I don't know what food he eats. I don't know what liquids he drinks. But there's something going on in that guy's head, and I'm invested in this game. I like what I saw. I really do. I like the little vague hints of what enemies you have, these creatures that you couldn't see, how they're just taking people, and these dudes would rather die, would rather commit suicide than being taken by these creatures.
Yeah.
That spoke to me. I was like, oh man, this looks really good. But I still don't know what the fuck I'm gonna be doing when I'm playing this game, but I don't give a damn because I'm in.
The head of Square, not Square, of Sony, basically came out and said Death Stranding is basically Hideo Kojima Unchained. He has full reign. We don't know what to expect. His development team has no idea what to expect.
fine.
He's just like, just go with it.
The only
Just go
other
with
game
it.
that I've gotten into based off of a cinematic was Dark Souls, so I'm all aboard.
Which, to be fair, even though there's a lot of other stupid bullshit that has to go in the creation of video games, is how video games should be made. Almost completely unchained. Limiting someone, though, can put more strain on a game.
I don't
Look
know.
at EA.
Have you played Manhunt?
No.
Well,
Have you played any EA game?
I don't. There should
You
be
played
some
Mass
type
Effect.
of regulation in there
Well,
because then you get games
what
like
is it?
Rape Lay.
Who?
I know what he was talking about.
It's a game where the objective is to rape women.
It's a Japanese exclusive game.
It doesn't matter. It's still there.
I'm just saying that for the audience.
I don't know. Have you guys seen Big Mother Truckers? That was a mistake.
I've seen the trailers for that. It was hilarious.
What is that? Ride to Hell?
Oh, that biker game?
Yeah.
That was a terrible game too.
There should be some standards.
I
There should be
remember.
some regulations.
I remember in.
I was gonna say standards
the
and saying,
trailer.
well, you can't do this because we don't want to foot the budget, is different than you shouldn't make a game about raping women. Those are two different things.
Footing the budget. That's not really EA's thing. EA's thing is this game has to be out in 2 weeks. It's going to take 2 years. 2 weeks.
We'll just keep patching it for the
both
next
budget,
2
yeah.
years,
No, they'll give up on it halfway through.
or that. So
But anyway.
so really just 1 week.
I mean, you guys have seen like Final Fantasy 13, 2, and 3 and stuff. Like there are mistakes.
Mistakes happen.
Yes, exactly.
Mistakes happen. I remember the one of the trailers for Big Mother Truckers. There's like a close up on a big rig that's rocking, and you hear a guy going, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" And then you hear a girl's voice, "Daddy, you're my cousin. Shut up."
Ew. Back on topic.
We had a topic. Oh, speaking of
Uh,
Dark Souls and From Software like games,
Yeah.
did you ever take a look into Greedfall?
That was Greedfall.
I only showed you.
You told me about it, but
I showed you it too. I was just wondering if you would look, and I couldn't find anything else.
I
Ba-
don't think there was anything out for it.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
there's like-
if
there's
you
like a
lose
s-
all your money in the stock market or something.
There's like a small trailer, some
Like
footage
with
out
Bitcoin.
about it, but
When it
basically what it
drops.
is, it's like you've dropped off on an island that's I think Dark Souls-esque. Like you got 17th century weaponry, there's creatures out there for no reason, and the entire environment is supposed to change with your decisions.
Nice.
Supposedly an actual game like that, not the meaningless one. Mass Effect 3.
Don't stare at me.
I don't know. We were just waiting for some kind of response from you.
Hey,
That was it. Moving on. Someone else tangent.
All right. Well, as far as the gaming award news for this year, that's pretty much all that they did. That I figured was of interest. The new Death Stranding trailer, 15-second Shadows Die Twice from Software, and Accounting Plus. That with a generous donation, you get to watch Brother Red flail on some office corporate acid trip. And it's going to be
Donation.
lovely.
I would say any donation. If anybody donates to us, I'll play it.
$1.
Man.
$1 will go a long way.
Yeah, Dollar's gonna purchase all that VR equipment. Help us.
All right, things that are going on right now.
Things that are going on right now.
There was a beta for. There's 2 open betas. One, I'm 110% certain you guys have not heard of or did not play, so we're not going to talk about that one.
Okay.
The other one was Monster Hunter. Has
got
anyone played this Monster Hunter beta?
you and
Me.
Wise Guy.
Has anyone played a Monster Hunter game?
You and Wise Guy. So this is your you and I talk. So I guess this is you and him.
It looks entertaining, but I've passed that point in my life to where I play MMOs and Grindfest.
Well, it's not really an MMO.
I know.
It
but
has MMO elements,
But it is a
yeah.
grind fest.
It is a.
It is. The biggest entertainment portion for me is the creatures. It's fighting the creatures. It's great. I like the way they look. This is the first one we've had on a console. I don't count the Wii U one since the PlayStation 2. It looks fantastic.
I might
does look
end up getting it
fantastic.
and playing it with you guys just because everybody's going to be playing
Try
it.
the beta. It's free. You ain't doing shit else.
Does the beta come back?
Don't look at me
Yes.
like you are. You're not doing shit else. The beta came back this week.
Hey.
Just today.
The
Just
first.
try it.
Leave my free time
quick,
alone.
Real quick. The first Monster Hunter beta ran December 9th through December 12th. The next beta is December 22nd. So
Yesterday.
not to date this video in any way, but yeah, as Wise Guy said, yesterday, and it's gonna run until December 23rd. So
From the
to-
great past of yesteryear.
We're always dating this stuff. We're talking about gaming news, man.
Oh no! It'll run until the 26th or 27th, depending on which time zone.
This is
you're
why I
in.
wanted your dumb ass
at
on
any point,
yesterday
news
because
is
I was
old
wearing
news.
my Captain America.
Any
socks,
news is
you
old
prick.
news, I suppose. As for right now, this beta is only for PS4. Capcom has no news if any other
Cash
consoles or PC is going to have this beta. So as of right now, PS4 users, get on that beta, check it out. Now,
It's well worth it.
Big Wise Guy, what can you tell us about the beta?
Well, Monster Hunter is kind of a hard game to explain. Really, it's
You hunt monsters.
I want to say
It's boss fighting. You keep on fighting the bosses. You have your different weapons. The weapons basically determine your classes.
I really want to say it's like Dark Souls light.
I
sense.
I wouldn't say all that. He's too proud of his whack ass joke.
He's not wrong.
It's a free beta. Just give it a shot. If you like Shadow of the Colossus and the fact that you can climb up your enemies and stab them in the back, by all means. Every single monster you fight has a unique way you can interact with them in order to defeat them.
They haven't brought in any new weapons this go around, but they've added new attacks for the weapons.
They have.
What kind of weapons do they have?
All of them.
There's one for every situation if you want to play it. It's easier just to go and play it.
Yeah,
We're
there's
not gonna sit here and
too
talk-
too many.
We're
There's
not
too
going to
many.
sit here and talk about Monster Hunter when only 2 people have played it, and basically like 1.5 persons has played it. No,
I've watched you play it
Okay.
a lot, and I have tried it out a couple times. Like I tried out the beta. I tried out the last Monster Hunter
He
game.
fought the easiest one in the beta, and took almost 30 minutes.
It took 12 minutes. Shut up.
Can I describe it from what I've seen?
if you want, if it makes you feel better.
All right. Well, I mean,
If it tickles your pickle.
I would call it like a ye olden version, kind of Phantasy Star Online, if you ask me.
It's more in depth than Phantasy Star Online.
But it's that sort of game. Basically, you run around, hack and slash, collect things.
Your character doesn't level
Upgrade-
up.
upgrade things.
You level up your armor and weapons.
From what you've played in the beta, have you noticed any Jurassic changes that you
Jurassic?
want?
Jurassic.
Jurassic changes
Man,
that,
I was
that
laughing at
you
your
want
joke
to
when you say
mention?
Jurassic.
You bet your ass he is.
There's no big changes that they've made. There's some subtle ones. Like, weapons have more unique attacks. They added this tracking element to make it easier to find the monsters, and since there is no loading times in between screens, it's all one big map. It's easier to follow the monsters and plan your next attack instead of looking all over the map and trying to figure out where they're most likely to go when they need to rest.
And then forgetting your paintball.
You don't need the paintball anymore.
I'm
You
just
don't need
just saying in old Monster Hunter games. Yeah, go. Oh fuck, it's leaving. No, come back. Fuck.
So if Monster Hunter has remotely interests you in the slightest, but you didn't want to get a handheld to do it, now's the time to get into it with this free beta. You get a taste of what's to come, and if you like that taste, go back for more. Buy the game when it comes out in January.
Speaking of taste, did you notice if they had a cooking element in this beta?
It's
It's been in all games.
That's like asking if there's a Pokeball in Pokemon.
There isn't in Pokemon Snap.
Yes, there is.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. I didn't have it at 64
Okay.
growing up. I'm sorry.
Anyway, another beta that's going to be
Nice
coming
try,
out
Kobe. Nice try.
is there's going to be a final open beta for the Dragon Ball Z Fighters game coming out. Is anybody interested in playing this?
I'm still trying to learn Tekken. I can't.
You
And
know,
I'm mostly trying to learn Overwatch.
I know I may be asking the wrong people, but is anybody interested in playing a Dragon Ball Z fighting game for the first time? That's Dragon. This is the first fight. This is the first
so
actual
that-
Dragon Ball Z fighting
That'd be
game.
this fool over here.
well, I was just gonna say I've played the other Dragon Ball Z fighting games.
There have not been real fighting games for Dragon Ball Z. Fight me.
Let's load up.
Ten-
Let's load up Budokai. Let's go.
Yeah.
You might get the ones on the PlayStation, the 2D ones. You might get those, the 2D, 3D ones. What is that? Budokai 1, 2, and 3. You might get those, but other than that, there have been no Dragon Ball Z fighting games.
Well, those are the ones I played. That was
There have been
Budokai.
combat
Same.
simulators, but there's no fighting games.
Tenkaichi was whack, if you ask me.
Budokai Tenkaichi HD remake.
So this open beta.
Why
is
did you
going to
develop a
happen.
lisp like that second part? HD remake.
I can't help it. Stop making fun of the way I talk. God, you guys are so mean to me.
How
Why are you
unfortunate.
trying to play like the role of the domestically abused wife?
Because I
You're
am.
so mean.
You guys are so mean to me.
Shut up, man.
Donate and we'll give Kobe a hug.
Please.
Donate will have these bums actually play some games so they know what they're talking about every now and then.
Hey, I can talk about things and stuff.
Good for you.
When does is that beta going on right now, or what?
I
when is
believe that beta will happen in the beginning of January, and that game will launch in the very same week that Monster Hunter launches.
Awesome. Looking
Be
forward to that.
Be sure to grab your pre-order because you will have to buy those DLC characters if you don't pre-order it. This is stupid. You should not be forced to pre-order to get free characters and then pay for them later on.
Here's a question for you. What would you guys be willing to... what would have to be on the Nintendo Switch for you guys to buy it, like, game-wise?
There's hella things I want to play right now. I just don't have the money to do it. There's the Raving Rabbids game that's like XCOM. Hell yeah, sign me up. Mario,
with the Mario?
yeah, Mario Raving Rabbids. It's like XCOM. That shit looks dope as hell. Mario Odyssey looks dope.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is dope. What the fuck else? They have a new Metroid Prime coming out. That shit is gonna be dope.
If they put the next Fire Emblem game on there, I'm gonna have to buy it.
They're gonna have they're supposed to have a Pokemon game on there. Like right, they have solid titles. There's no reason not to own a Switch besides money right now. The Switch is good. If you don't have a Switch, either you don't like Nintendo because that's the way you feel, you're feeling some type of way, or you just don't have the funds. Those are the only two reasons why you wouldn't own a Switch.
I guess I just don't like Nintendo then.
You wonder why we abuse you down here.
I'll get it eventually. It's just not high on my priorities list.
Because you're talking about the Game Awards. Even these scrubs are sitting there not nominating Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild for almost every single category. You think that's for no reason?
No, I'm sure it's for a reason. Those kind of games just aren't for me.
Okay.
I'm sure Breath of the Wild is fun as shit. I'll probably will pick up a Switch just for that game alone.
For what game?
Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'll just play Wise Guy's copy.
I mean, let's.
All right. Backtracking time a little bit. It's not really December related news, but I don't think
You can backtrack in time and you never told us?
yes.
Dick.
Because I knew you'd abuse it like you'd abuse me. But no, since Biggie is here, we didn't get your input. How was Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's one of those games, when you play it, I had a really strong first impression of it. But then as I played it more, I just came to realize it was another shooter. Shooters are a dime a dozen to me. If you don't have anything that makes you stand out, there's no reason for me to go back and play it. So Star Wars Battlefront, it's a basic shooter with Star Wars skins. That is what it is. If you want a shooting experience, if you want something that will piss you off, but it's a great game, Overwatch is still the way to go. If you're just some guy who likes, the dude bro type of dude, or I like shooting the bloop doop doop doop, I like the camp whatnot, you'll go play Destiny or Call of Duty. If you're a third person shooter kind of guy, well, that sucks to be you, because Gears of War is all you got and you're fucked. That's my jaded opinion on shooters, man.
I don't think he's wrong.
My opinion would have been pretty much about the same thing.
The best part of Battlefront are the dogfights. Even though they're so bare bones, that is the most entertaining part of that game. We really need a real dogfights like that, and you have to do that with Ace Combat when that comes out next year.
Is there going to be a new Ace Combat?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And they're probably the game that did flight combat.
Acely.
I mean,
Yeah,
Star
the
Fox
most
had its
jealous.
chance. Star Fox had its chance, but Nintendo kind of fucked that up with the Switch. I mean, not the Switch, with the Wii U. We had a Star Fox reboot. There was their grand opportunity to, if you're going to just remake the game, remake 64, fine, remake 64, go ahead, fuck it up. But you could have at least made a multiplayer back in the day, just like they did with the Nintendo DS version, and you have online dogfights. That's what people really want, for real. But
That would be fun.
they fucked it up, and they didn't include it. Why?
If for some reason Nintendo has been holding on to that as an ace up its sleeve, that is another reason why I would
Isn't that-
buy a Nintendo Switch, just for that.
Isn't that part of the reason why, or could that be, they want less competitive aspects in games, like the creator of Smash Bros. Or whatever?
Okay,
True.
we're not talking about Sakurai, because Sakurai has backpedaled on everything he said in his entire life. He said his game's not competitive, and hence, they have a competitive scene. He says they're playing it wrong or whatever. It's not meant to be this, and then he backpedals and says, well, it is competitive now. Blah, blah, blah. He's just going with the tide. Who gives a shit what he says? It's not Nintendo. It's just one person. Because Nintendo is also they're trying to push Splatoon for a heavy competitive scene. And it's not working. I don't think it's too heavily influenced over here in the States, but over there and over in the island, it's actually, it's thriving. It's doing fine.
I don't think Splatoon was even part of the VGAs this year.
Splatoon 2, also a good title to have on your Switch. Very good, very fun.
Plays just like Splatoon 1, just with more weapons,
just
right?
Just like more to do.
More, a little bit more.
You have any more talking points on that bad boy?
Absolutely. Way earlier in the month, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out for the Nintendo Switch.
Titties.
December 1st.
Titties.
That's really all we have to say about
Anime
it.
titties. They're just everywhere. I believe with this game, it's, in terms of music, it's always subjective, but I think this took a hit with its musical score. This game has had a downgrade severely. You went from the person who made the Attack on Titan soundtrack doing the one for the Wii U, and now you just have some random weed shit in the background. Man, that sucks. Man, that sucks.
Do you think creators are just getting lazier nowadays, or they're just trying to make money faster so they keep pumping out content? What's the deal with that?
That's
EA
that's
syndrome.
Call of Duty. It's
cashing in.
That's why I say the whole music thing it's subjective. It's so opinionated because a lot of people like that weed music. They like it. They put it on their iPods. They put it on their their Samsung phones or their laptops. That's what they use to work out with. Sort of online intro. Let me go jog to that. But
They put it on their Walkmans.
yeah, they're Walkmans.
I used to I jogged to the One Punch Man theme.
We rest our point.
Like I said, everyone has their own taste in music. Some people like country music even when they're wrong, and some people don't like country music when they're right. Some people like to listen to ska music. They're wrong.
What the fuck is ska music?
Educate yourself a little bit.
Okay.
Some people like polka.
Mumble growls.
Some people
Vin Diesel music?
some people like grindcore. These are all different genres of music, and you're
Baby metal.
You can't say that they're wrong for liking that type of music. You can't say that they're wrong. So that's just how it is. But
Unless it's country.
Plus,
Then you're wrong.
But I do feel that the game has had a downgrade because it's less.
And that's why I abuse you.
It may impact the atmosphere a little bit more when your music is more. I need a vocabulary.
I was
Robust?
I was getting
There
at
you go.
more the point in content. Do you think content because the engines are evolving and it's harder for them to keep up
Well, it's a
with
business.
the programming, or
It-
you think
it's a
they're just pumping out content for the cash and they don't really care about how well the game's put together,
I don't
as
think-
opposed to back in the day?
I don't think anybody wants to make something bad. I believe that people have higher expectations now, so they don't pump out as much as they used to. Like when you won't go to N64 days, you go to PlayStation days. They pumped out games left and right. There's hundreds of thousands of games you've never even heard of, and they're garbage. They're hot garbage. You remember playing games back in the day, going, "Oh man, this is my shit," and you play it now. That game is hot diaper rash because your expectations have risen. You expect more. Granted, now they do make more games that are just kind of cash grabs or like.
Mobile games.
A game like Little Nightmares, you would be mad playing that when you were younger because it was so short. You would not be satisfied playing that. But now you appreciate a little bit more about it.
I
And,
mean,
even though some of those puzzles are kind of easy, I've seen you struggle on those. And when you know what you're doing, the game's maybe a 20-minute game. Nobody wants to play a 20-minute game.
Well, I mean, for the price point, it was still fun though. I paid $30 for it with all the DLC.
All right, no one wants to play a 20-minute game. You know what I mean? People when they buy a game, they expect their time to be ate the fuck up. But when you play a game, you buy a game, you pay $60, $40, and you only spend 2 hours with your game, you think your money's well spent, even though it costs so much more to make that. That's why it's like it's so weird in that area. But it costs so much to make these games, and just to turn around and you buy this game and say like what's a good example to use for this? Fucking Sonic Forces.
Oh,
God
there
damn.
we go.
Expectations abound. They just released DLC to play as Supersonic. DLC.
Oh, really?
Really. Fuck that.
No. I didn't hear about it.
Like, instead of having the ability to
Sure you don't
earn
want-
Supersonic and play as Supersonic like people have been wanting to, they just said, here's DLC, go play with them. Man,
You sure you don't want to go fast?
Well, now you have to earn it because you got to earn the money to buy it.
that's just what people have always been making fun of. Like, here, don't earn this in the game. Just pay with DLC now. Even though it's
Earn
free
it in real life.
Even though it's free DLC, it should be part of. Like, you didn't see Supersonic once during the game, and the game handles like shit anyway. So I'm gonna handle like shit faster.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Hypersonic poop.
let's get back to the plot, I suppose.
Do you do you think that the music in Xenoblade Chronicles is hidden in the bosom of these anime girls, and maybe if they had smaller chests, the music would be better? As he takes a drink of Kraken.
That goes back to Big E saying people like what they like, and the content isn't necessarily going to make the music better. The music is either good or it's not good, and one opinion or another, basically. Content really doesn't, in my opinion, affect the way music is viewed or scored. You know,
Alright.
I mean, it can be created around what the game is, basically, but the music by itself is what it is.
I was about to say, can you make a game based on like if all you're given is music, is like, okay, here's music, build a game around that?
Oh, I'm sure you could. You got to use your imagination. You know, I mean, you think of a scene, an idea, a story, and you go with it. You run with it.
Well,
You know.
I think there was it was like a film festival project or a book project, and I think they had different directors or writers. I have to look this up. I'm sorry for not having this exactly right, but the people were given the task to create a story and they were only given 2 pages of the previous chapter to form their story on, and they gave this project to different people, and they formed the story off of that together. So
Everybody worked together with different ideas.
they didn't work together.
Oh,
everyone had this. It was one overarching script, and they went.
Everybody was working. Everybody was working on the same project individually.
And they had one script, and they gave the previous 2 pages of a chapter to 5 different people, and everybody came up with a different story about the same script.
So one group had the two pages of chapter 1, and another group had 2 pages of chapter 2, and so on and so forth.
Essentially, yes. And they all made different stories. That's what you were talking about. Something like that happened, and it's hard to do something like that, and that just shows people's artistic value and artistic ability to make a story like that. And that's kind of what happens with games when you do stuff like that. You could make a game based on music, but it would just be hard.
Ooh, Guitar Hero,
Wham.
Rock Band.
Those are rhythm games. Nice try.
That's different.
All right.
I was gonna say, because music is usually formed around the game to help emanate and enhance it.
All right. Another game that was announced earlier this year, Mega Man 11.
Sleep.
Sleep.
I'm sleep.
And he's the biggest.
Anna-
he's
is-
the biggest fan here.
Is
so-
Anna here?
Yeah, she is. She just shot me with a Mega Man dart. I'm fucking sleep.
Sleep Man.
Mega Man has not changed its formula or anything about it in the past 30 years. Mega Man has not done a fucking thing new.
I was about to say, this is the 30th year anniversary for
You think
Mega
I'm about
Man.
to be excited to play another Mega Man game that looks worse than I think Mega Man X games, even though they're sprite based, I think they look better than these weird, clunky 2D, 3D.
Yeah, 2D, 3D.
I don't like these Saturday morning cartoon looking Mega Man games. I don't like them. It's do something with Mega Man. Make me care again. Don't just say, here you go, Mega Man 11. I played this game.
Give us Mega Man Legends 3, please. You have half of it somewhere. Just finish it.
I mean, you can look at this Mega Man 11 when it comes out. You look at that. How is that any different from Mega Man X4, Mega Man X3, Mega Man X5, Mega Man 9? How is it different?
You
It's
have a
not.
point.
But you can sit there and look at Mario Sunshine, Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy, and they all look different when you play them.
Those games are great. I don't care what anybody says.
They all look different.
Those games are great.
It's the same shit. I'm jumping off walls, I'm sliding on my kneecaps, and I'm shooting out little yellow pellets.
I think the differences are the power-ups.
They've done them all.
That's not.
How many
What?
games have you played Mega Man? He shoots out a tornado. Yeah.
Like, oh wow, now
Yeah.
a lot more than I think.
Or some kind of fire attack.
Or here's a shield. This one is leaves. This one is wind.
This one's
one is
water. This one's energy. I've played them all, except for Command Mission and Trombone. I've played them all.
How many times do you get smacked by Pharaoh Man on each of those?
Fair. No wind.
I think well, Wise Guy, is it you that I borrowed a command mission from?
I don't know. No, no, I won't get into that. Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Okay then.
Moving on.
Moving on. There is no release date for Mega Man 11, but a announcement trailer did drop December 4th. So if you want to look that up, look for it on YouTube.
As Big E said, that's all I can say.
I'm asleep.
Now, so something that made me sleep was Destiny's 2 Curse of Osiris DLC, which dropped December 5th.
Did you finish that already?
Yeah, I could have finished it in one sitting if I really, really wanted to.
That's
looking
did,
back.
did they charge you for that DLC?
Unless you bought the
Technically,
Season Pass.
yes, but I bought the Season Pass.
That's
Right,
the issue with
yikes.
games like Destiny is a heavily content-driven game. Now, there's not much to do in the initial game, so you have to wait for them to keep dropping content. If you're not a fan of their PvP element, then you're just shit out of luck.
It's true.
Once
real true.
you get your stroke with Destiny, you sit there, you bust off maybe 1 or 2 loads, and your night's over with. And Destiny 2 is over with.
Overall, it wasn't worth the full price and the DLC bundle, but yeah, nah. Curse of Osiris for me, it was overhyped. It was a flop. It was fun, but it was short, and it wasn't sweet at all.
I don't know. I look at shooters, and part of the reason why I just don't go for them is I feel like, as Big E said, they're kind of a dime a dozen. Like, you see them, and they just lack creativity, imagination, depth. They're just a lot of them are just one and the same. And they get boring, repetitive, but that's just me. Not a big shooter fan.
Before the DLC dropped on November 28th, Bungie wanted to do a live stream on Twitch to showcase all of the cool things that you could do in Curse of Osiris. They had to cancel it because of the fan outcry over just how broken the original game was and how many issues that game had. Like just with the Destiny 2, not Destiny 1. There's a lot of there's a big push for buying in-game currency to get more engrams, to get more like color schemes for your characters, blah blah blah.
And that kind of goes back to people putting out content too fast, not programming it, not thinking it out too well, and I mean, not finding like your flaws and your shortcomings, and then you got to sit here and you got to patch and patch and patch because you didn't do things right the first time.
I'll use that as a segue.
Okay.
Now, Destiny's doing this stuff just to make money. They have to make money. They have to have return assets. That's
Absolutely.
fine. You can't hate them for it, but it still sucks. But you can still do things in a way that people won't give a shit about when, let's look at, the fuck is that game?
Battleborn?
No, it's the free-to-play arena shooter.
Paladins.
No, god damn it. Come on now.
Arena shooter?
Yeah. It's free to play on
Dust?
PlayStation 4. It's a shooter. Dust, come on
Dust
now.
is a shooter.
Come on,
It's
It's
not the one he's
relevant
thinking
right
of.
now.
I think we just went over this too like a couple weeks ago.
Fortnite, thank you.
Okay.
Fortnite.
Thank you, Brain. Fortnite is free to play.
Fortnite, in my opinion, too, is way more entertaining than player Battleground Unknown.
Isn't it also on Xbox?
No,
That's really weird.
it is.
A
It's,
guy I watch on stream sometime plays it on Xbox.
it's not an Xbox.
I'm so confused.
He might play it on the.
He lied to me.
Well, anyway, it's free to play, but everything they have, like Overwatch, is cosmetic. Anything you want to put money into is cosmetic. The actual storyline for the game, the $60 portion, you don't have to put. You just can download the free version of it and play the multiplayer. But if you want to make your character look cool or have some kind of kooky stuff, you pay money. It's not that hard. You make people want to throw money into your game, and they'll throw money into the game. You don't force people to throw money into your game. You make them want to. So, it's doable. Destiny is trying to force people to put money into their game by making these cosmetics that don't do shit, that don't look like shit. They're trying to make you pay money for that. I don't want to pay money to have my character look baby blue and yellow. I don't care. Put a goddamn mouse head on me. I'll pay money for that. Put a foxtail on me. Give me some khakis and or a paper bag to put on my head. I'll pay money for that. Oh, it breaks immersion. Nigga, it's a game. What do you mean immersion? They ain't got no story anyway. The last game, you spent 2 hours on Wikipedia trying to figure out the story.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? It breaks immersion. Just
Is that for Destiny?
yeah, for Destiny
Yeah.
1.
Yikes.
There's a story to Destiny, yeah.
It's not that hard to put content out there that people want to buy. It's not that hard to understand that people want their characters to look stupid. They want things that are kind of special. But with Destiny, someone told me that there's a new gun. I can't remember what it's called, but this new gun is fucking broken. It's a laser.
Oh yeah, the Prometheus lens.
That was Mike at work.
Yeah, that was Mr. Baldbeast. Go ahead, give him a follow. If your gun is broken, what did they do? They didn't fix the gun. They just gave it to everybody for free.
Yeah. Yeah, for free. No in-game. You don't pay for real cash for the currency to get this weapon, but it's relatively cheap with in-game currency and resources.
That's not how you take care of that issue. It's not.
Should we,
We still got more.
I'll continue
Okay.
Go on.
All right.
I'm
we'll
listening.
Go
for once?
on.
I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised after the 25th or so.
We'll see.
I got some. I got a thing that will add some amusement, hopefully.
A vagina.
Man,
That would amuse us.
if I find one of those, you guys ain't gonna
Yeah,
see
like
me
a
for a
video.
while. Wise guy.
But anyway,
I can't speak. Sucker Punch, the
Whack.
geniuses behind the Infamous series, is coming out with a new game. The trailer for it dropped on
Man, he's using
October 30th.
He's using the word genius for Infamous.
I love Infamous. Shut up. Let me enjoy things.
That's a looser understanding than his standards.
all right,
Ugh.
hot mediocrity. Go on.
They are coming out with a new game based in feudal Japan called Ghost of Tsushima.
Man, you don't even know how to
You're
pronounce
supposed to
this
be a
game.
weeb. This is your
Tsushima.
second language.
Kawaii Desune.
Don't do
No. There's no gameplay for it, but there is a small trailer out. It looks dope as shit. Not only did they come out with the Infamous series, they also came out with Sly Cooper. If you like that, I have no idea how. Like I said, I don't know how this game is gonna play, but I am a sucker for Sucker Punch. So
It was a horrible movie.
And actually, now that you mentioned that, the last Game Informer I got a look at, it looked like there was going to be this heavily story/battle-driven game about back in feudal Japan.
this is probably that.
Really?
Yeah.
Where you were a samurai
Yeah.
or a ronin, and the country was in great war turmoil, and
That's
you had to
pretty much what
you had
the
to, you had
trailer covered. Yeah.
To, you had to like
Fight the dude.
And then
I-
something really bad happened.
Man, I wish I could remember.
be swords.
but I
You'll like it.
Exactly, but I do remember seeing something like that in the last Game Informer. But continue.
I think that Detroit game looks interesting.
Detroit being human. Yes.
Anybody seen anything on that?
Did anyone catch it? It was probably around the time the PS4 dropped. It was that Kara trailer where there's like this android girl being built just to show off the PS4's graphics.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that,
Like
yeah.
they said, no, we're not gonna. This isn't like a prelude to a game or anything. Turns out she's in the latest trailer, and it shows scenes from that Kara trailer in this Detroit Being Human trailer game,
Sounds like Final
where
Fantasy VII all over again.
where I guess an android is out there and she's pretending to be human, and there's this huge.
Well, the way that the game's looking like it's working is it's story driven. You're well, one of the choices was a maid android or whatever.
It looks like that there's going to be episodic adventures. One of them, yeah, you play as a maid android. Another one, you play as a hostage negotiator android. And I haven't seen the third one, but it follows
In-game choices result in different story outcomes.
Yes, and these story outcomes and the story branches are really big. In fact, just if you guys want to see, that is a basic map of just one story and their outcome.
Don't get overhyped over stuff like this. This looks just like
Heavy Rain?
no, what's that butterfly shit?
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
Yeah. So it could just be minor tweaks.
It could be.
Don't get too over.
You gotta look out for Wendy though.
There's a joke in there.
I love it.
The Wendigo.
I love it. But I'm looking forward to Detroit being human, even though the gameplay is probably going to be ridiculously simple, just like Heavy Rain or Until Dawn. But I'm looking for a thought-provoking game piece in Detroit being human. So don't let me down, whoever's making it.
It won't be hard to do.
But then, that's the thing though. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy Until Dawn, but to me, that's kind of laziness in a different spectrum than some of these other games. Yes, they bring together the good story elements and storytelling of a game, but then there's nothing else. And then, in that sense, it feels more like a movie than anything, and it's like a really overpriced movie.
But that's part of the experience.
Yeah, but that's just my opinion.
At least when I bought until maybe it was $60 when it came out, but I bought it when
like
it was like $40.
Like Firewatch, it's more of an you're buying and playing more of a narrative than you are an actual game.
Like
Until
Telltale games.
Until Dawn failed when it tried to smash two completely and utterly different stories into each other and try to pass it.
Yeah, like they dropped the whole Wendigo thing like unceremoniously, and then it was like, oh, okay, well, we're focusing on this now. Like a complete dynamic shift in the narrative and what you expected. Like, yeah, you kind of think, oh, there's this other thing going on in the background. You don't know if that's the killer going or if that's something else. It's really weird.
It should have been one or the other, not both. But moving on.
And last but not least, speaking of weeb shit, how does everyone feel about the anime Dark Souls, Code Vein?
Pass.
Pass?
Pass. You can't.
With the what?
You it's Code Vein. It's Dark Souls if a weeb tried to make it. Or okay, if anime enthusiasts tried to make a Dark Soul-esque game.
It's like you tried to pretty up the.
I don't want to sound so derogatory.
If
when I say
Yoko
it.
Taro was in charge of
don't
the
praise
game.
it. Don't praise it like that. Don't praise it like that because you haven't played it yet. You can't say that. The game has an over anime, and the visuals are hyper anime. They are hyper anime. I can't. It's if that's your thing, that's your thing. If it's not, it's not. I think that's not going to do too well in trying to, for world building and everything. It's going to have the over sexualized boss, all the anime titties everywhere. The story might be just way too over the top. I already have my stigmas about it. But if I want to play Dark Souls, I'll go and play Dark Souls. When I play something like that, I'll go and do that. Code Vein, it's whatever.
Super anime.
The
There's
Hobbit.
There's no release date for Code Vein as of yet, other than just 2018. As of right now.
Yeah, you weren't wrong with the titties. I'll give you that one.
Oh my.
Not my cup of tea, but I'm going to prejudge it, but I am not going to give it like a final verdict until I actually play it. That's just the way I am. I'll give it a shot. Until then, it's still a pass.
To each their own. Does anyone?
Gesundheit.
Blesses.
More news that's going to come out for next year. No one gives a shit. Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition is going to drop.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh.
Then be prepared for Super Street Fighter Arcade Edition. Super.
Just a slight heads up: if you did not purchase Season 1, 2, or 3, or if you only purchased Season 1, it is still cheaper for you to buy a second disc copy of your Street Fighter 5 to get all your DLC needs. So all that true.
Cashcom, boo.
You do not have to buy a second disc. Everything is still very viable for you on your first disc. However, if you left the game and you're looking to get back into it for this next current season, it is cheaper for you to purchase your $40 copy of Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition and not spend $60 to $70 on your DLC season passes.
They have yet to make this game fun.
And on my personal opinion, if you did not like Street Fighter because of the battle system and you're hoping for a character to change your mind, you are just lying to yourself. It's not the characters, it's the gameplay, it's the battle mechanics, it's the lackluster of the game entirety. Stay away. If you enjoy it for what it is, enjoy it for what it is. No one's hating on you.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm not hating.
Someone will hate on you.
It's just
No one here, but someone will hate on you.
Most definitely.
You've been warned.
You have been warned. For those who are interested, Overwatch is still doing their Winter Wonderland event, so get on that if you want those sweet new winter holiday skins, or to get a chance to get last year's skins if you didn't.
They're a lot cheaper than they used to be, heads up.
They are a lot cheaper. There is a new winter game mode called Yeti Hunter. It's I kind of enjoy it. It's
It's quick, easy loot boxes.
quick and easy loot boxes.
Most of the time.
before I personally have to get up and get out of here, has anybody tried any of the new heroes in Heroes of the Storm?
No.
Alex Straza and Hanzo have been released. Has anyone made the attempt to try this?
I
keep forgetting.
I keep up with all the new characters, but I haven't played the game since
The last time we played,
probably since I was trying to
get the Diva skin.
save up enough money to buy Gul'dan, which was months ago.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Wait, I
so
thought you played with us to get the Diva skin.
that was even before then.
That was
But
long
now you can just buy it.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, Diva skin is just Diva and
And
Genji's
and the only one. You don't need to,
are just part of the regular loot boxes.
because
now.
I think
okay.
because I think Blizzard at this point they're saying, well, we're trying with Heroes of the Storm, but it's not gaining popularity like we hoped it would have, compared to some of their other titles. That's all I'm saying.
Overwatch is fun. I'm sorry, Blizzard.
No. Well, that
Well, Heroes of the Storm is fun, too, and
yeah,
it's free.
It was.
well,
it was.
I mean,
and it still is.
It's not as
honestly.
popular as Overwatch or Hearthstone. I think even Diablo might be more popular than Heroes of the Storm.
I
That's
don't
weird
know.
to think about.
Yeah, probably not.
I think with the bad taste the last Diablo left in people's mouths, I think Heroes of the Storm is a bit more popular than you're giving it credit for, and it's also not fair to compare popularity with anything with Overwatch. Overwatch is a phenomenal hit. Nothing has gained this kind of, no new property has gained so much ground in the past, I don't know how many years. Nothing has hit this hard.
I
Nothing.
can't think of anything.
Can we have a moment of silence for Battleborn?
I'll miss you.
Moment of silence for Paladins.
That's still there.
Fuck them. Alright, well, that is pretty much all of the gaming info that I have, unless anyone wants to mention anything else.
No. I look forward to some Dragon Ball Z Fighters videos. Look forward for
Monster Hunter, you guys are gonna
some
play.
Monster Hunter videos. And if some people around here get a little bit too behind, I will be throwing out some videos with me and my own goons, and we'll be playing Monster Hunter and having fun with that.
Are there any games that we are looking forward to playing here on the channel in 2018?
Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
I'll be getting the new, well, not new, but the remake of Secret of Mana, because I never finished the game, and it is a good game. So
Nice.
I'll be getting that when it comes out. Most likely it'll be on PlayStation.
And if anybody says so, I do have Them's Fighting Herds. We can get that going on, but people have to ask for that.
Yeah, you guys
And
give us suggestions, like, you know.
What? Why is everyone going to say
what?
something?
Oh, I'm gonna be finishing Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed, and then probably just working on Overwatch. I gotta get better at Mazzaria.
If the new, shit.
And of course, Monster Hunter.
What's the fungus zombie apocalypse
The
game?
Last of Us.
Last of Us.
You mean your
If-
favorite game?
Yes, I couldn't think of it. Shut up.
That must be your favorite game, huh?
If Last of Us drops in 2018, I will definitely play that.
And if I have not gotten around
Get
to
those
playing
finger
it,
guns
whatever,
outta here.
do not expect me to be around because I don't want that story to be ruined for me.
Well, if there's a release date, we are going to do Last of Us OG here, and I would like for you to be there or to be present or to play.
If I get to
Any
it in
of those?
time, I get to it in time, and once again, do not expect me to be around.
I know. That's
the
what I
first
said.
Last of
It's
Us.
an invitation.
Hopefully, it doesn't end like the last time we tried to do something like this for the Walking Dead game. When I was just playing it just to play it, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go away right now, and then you come back at the end, and we're all sitting there like, God damn it.
I'll be continuing with Tekken as well into 2018. The game does not die for me. It's always there.
We need to finish our.
Gotta go.
So,
All right.
without further ado, thank you for listening, and yeah, we'll be here. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.
And we'll catch you in the next video.
More high quality content.
Where?